Can't get fucking insurance for your house. Nobody will insure your house. How the fuck, how do you improve your house? You're not that fucking $500,000 to rebuild your house. You know what I mean?
You want to live in nice weather.
No, fuck that. Take the cold. I go over and change the seasons. Fuck that hot shit.
Are we ready? Who are we waiting for? I can't stop thinking about the car.
Okay.
Well, good evening, everybody. I can't hear you. Good evening, everybody. I mean, I know we got a crowd of viejitos here, but come on. All right? So, in all seriousness, I want to thank everybody for coming out to this event to honor our late brother, Johnny Dandy Rodriguez. So, I want to ask one thing of you. I would like everybody to stand so we could have a moment of silence. Thank you. So, my name is Elliot Harris. I was a good friend of Johnny. I'm also good friends with a lot of people here. I see a lot of heavy hitters in the audience. I'm glad everybody came out. We're going to have a great night. There were a number of people who wanted to be here, but who were out of town. But just as an example, we did hear from Alfredo de la Fe. We heard from Jose Alberto Canario. You know, they sent their wishes, but, you know, due to scheduling conflicts, they could not make it here tonight. We have about a 2-hour window. If things get worked up a little bit later, we can extend a bit. I do want to acknowledge, before everything else, that we have a number of royal people here tonight, but we have in our front row here the late Tito Puente's widow, Margie Puente. And along with her, we have Ronnie Puente and his wife, and Junior is back on the top over there. So needless to say to you guys, that's the cherry on the cake that you guys would show to this event. And I really do appreciate tremendously your participation here tonight. So I thank you for that. Thank you for coming out. It means a lot. It means a lot. And I will do this again later, but I also want everybody to acknowledge the band. Hold on. These cats, they did not have to do this. There's no monetary value here. They are doing this of their own volition. And I will tell you, it has not been easy. It's been very difficult. But to see everybody here, we all together, it makes the whole thing worthwhile. So I want you to give the band a hand even before we start. And under the musical direction of my other older friend, Jose Madera.
Son? Yeah. You know, when we started this, talking about this back in August, was it? Elliot had all his hair, so now, as you can see, he's lost most of it trying to put this together.
Thank you.
Johnny is, Johnny's a person that I first saw in 1963 at the Apollo Theater playing with Tito Puente. Those of you that were around back then, anybody go to the Apollo around those years, 1963? You did? What medicine are you on? Anyway, that's my relationship with him goes back actually to 1970. Junior, who's here also. Stand up, Junior, let the people see you. Come on, come on. Junior, who would play with Tito Puente also. And so we go back a long, long time. And when he had his stroke, it was really a shame because he had one right afterwards, like he had another one within 2 days. And it was very difficult to imagine such a lively person and such a talented guy to have that type of fate at the end. And so I'll say what I said at the funeral when we were out there in Las Vegas. We'll see you soon, Johnny. And as far as going to Chinatown, we would say, who's pay? So we're going to do that, and now we're going to bring out Nando from, we're going to go back to Elliot. Okay.
I'll stand over there. You come.
No.
But I can't.
Neither can I. Anyway.
All right, so, and I'm going to want you later also to say a little something.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, moving right along, as they say, I'm going to give you now our MC for the evening. You all know him from his radio show on BAI, a lecturer, historian, producer, all-around guy, Nando Alvarici.
Muchas gracias, Elliot, y buenas noches. Voy a decirlo en español porque es nuestra cultura, and I just want to say that up front. We are here to celebrate the legacy of a great person. Most of us, possibly the ones that are not that close to him, are here because of his musical talent. A lot of us there took advantage of the access that he gave us to him. We're here because we also value him as a person, and that's what we're here to do. Celebrate Juan Rodriguez. Juan Rodriguez is the way Tito Rodriguez presents him on that album, Esta es mi orquesta. Remember that? And he says he didn't like that. But Johnny Dandy Rodriguez is a person that, in this case, for example, when I began hosting the Village Gate one night without letting Mr. Puente know or whatever, I decided to just, in the middle of a piece or whatever, present the band. And after I did that, I said to Johnny, I said, Johnny, do you think Tito mind that? He said, no, man. You do what you got to do or whatever. So Johnny was the guy that gave me the confidence to do that. And I like to pick up where Elliot left to recognize what these gentlemen are doing today. And quickly, I want to just remember what used to go at the Village Gate by me presenting the band and getting you to acknowledge their presence here and their value to the legacy of John Rodriguez. El Señor Jose Madera has been with Johnny for over 50 years. And a lot of these guys here have been with Johnny for 30, 40 years. That's a testimony to the type of person that he is. I also want to acknowledge a lot of the musicians that are here that are not performing tonight, like Eddie Servigon from La Orquesta Broadway, Ali Bello. Yes, yes. Jose Calderon, Manny Rivera. I think Nelson Gonzalez is going to perform, but he's here. Orestes Abrantes with the Spanish Harlem Orchestra. These musicians that are not performing, they are here because obviously they also value Johnny as a mentor in many cases, and they are here because they wanted to be here to tell Johnny how much we miss him, we value him, and I want to continue presenting the band. I want to start with the vocalist, Luis Rosa. Where's Luis Rosa? Victor Manolo Mairena. On the rhythm section, we have Luis Bauso, George Delgado, Nelson Gonzalez, Jerry Madera, Silvano Monesterio in the piano. On trumpets, we have Nick Marchioni, Manuel Maneco Ruiz, Dennis Hernandez, Cali Rodriguez, and I want to acknowledge an extra effort, special effort by Mr. John Walsh, who perhaps through some miscommunication, it wasn't clear whether he had to come or not, but he's here anyway, and he will be moving in and out. So, John, thank you for being here. And on trombones, we have Juanga Lacunza, Omi Ramos, Clarence Banks, Dave Chamberlain. On saxophones, Andrew Gould and Vito Chiaviuso. Peter Brainy, there you go. And Mr. Pete Miranda. Co-leader many years, a band member with Mr. John D. Rodriguez, Mr. Mitch Froman on tenor sax and flute. Mambo Legends Orchestra musical director and co-leader, Jose Madera on timbales. So I want to let them do the talking now with their music, sending a message to Johnny tonight. Jose, adelante.
All righty. Here we go. Watch it.
Lower that.
Yeah, it's too loud. Watch it. 1, 2, 3.
Hello. I just, I just wanted to get that out of the way. It seemed, I just wanted to hear some music. I just wanted to tell you quickly something about Johnny. And there's a gentleman here that I would like him to perhaps expand on the story that when Johnny went to Cuba in 1978, you know that he was the first musician after the Cuban Revolution. Well, he wasn't the first one after the Cuban Revolution. That was Mongo Santamaria and Willie Bobo that went to Cuba. And then 18 years later, Mr. Johnny Dandy Rodriguez saw fit to go down there and just, his love for the Cuban music took him down there. And there's a recording. He went down there with Mr. Martin Cohen. They took some instruments down there. And when he got down there, obviously there was Tata Wines, Mercedita Valdez, Guillermo Barreto, all these icons that were mentors to percussionists here. And they started a jam, and the jam did not include at the beginning Johnny Rodriguez. But then in the middle of that, they asked Johnny to come and play, and there was no bongo. So they rushed and got a bongo there. Martin, you were there. Maybe later on you could expand on that a little bit. And I just wanted to, once again, one of the many reasons why I personally kind of just value all the contributions of Xander Rodriguez is the fact that he betted on doing Cuban music of the 70s when no one else was doing it here. I understand that it hurt him a little bit with the Típica 73 because of the retaliation and so forth, but that's the kind of person that he was, committed to his art form. So let's continue with the music. Once again, Joe, thank you. Adelante.
The ending's in time, and stand up when we stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ay, cariño, ay, cariño, si vieras cómo estoy desesperado por tu ausencia, soñando a cada instante con la luz de tu presencia, llamándote en mis noches y llorando como un niño. Ay, cariño, ay, cariño, tú sabes que mi culpa es adorarte en exceso. Si es cierto como dicen que el pecado tiene un precio, qué caro estoy pagando por tenerte. Ay, cariño, ay, cariño, ay, cariño, si vieras cómo estoy desesperado por tu ausencia, soñando a cada instante con la luz de tu presencia, llamándote en mis noches y llorando como un niño. Ay, cariño, ay, cariño, tú sabes que mi culpa es adorarte como un necio. Si es cierto como dicen que el pecado tiene un precio, qué caro estoy pagando por tenerte. cariño. Ay, cariño, ven, ven, mi cariñito. Ay, cariño, te estoy buscando, te estoy exclamando. Ay, cariño, estoy esperando que tú vuelvas a mi lado. Ay, cariño, pero tú sabes que me tienes desesperado. Ay, cariño, ven, cariño, ven, cariño, ven. Ay, cariño, ven. Cariñito, yo te lo imploro. Ay, cariño, ven. Cuando no te veo, mi negrita, así te añoro. Ay, cariño, ven. Y tú verás. Ay, sabrosona, ven. Te estoy buscando, te estoy esperando. Sabrosona, pero yo sigo, negra, mira que reclamando. Sabrosona, ven, ven. Oye, negrita, ven a mis brazos. Sabrosona, ven. Tú sabes que me tienes desesperado. Sabrosona, dime que me quieres, ven. Dime que me adoras y entonces yo te haré feliz. Oye, negrita, tú no sabes cuánto yo te anhelo. Sabrosona, de la tierra hasta el cielo. Sabrosona, ven. Sabrosona. Qué caro estoy pagando por quererte. Ay, cariño. Thank you.
We're going to invite John Walsh and a person that I had the pleasure of watching when I was in first grade. Mr. Nelson Gonzalez to come up and play Bilongo with us in G flat minor. Okay, no, no, F minor. No, no, Eddie said no. Dale. Yeah, yeah. Who's that? Oh. Many of you may recognize Ruben Rodriguez, the son of Bobby Rodriguez. Actually, no. But, yeah, the nephew of Johnny Rodriguez. No, I don't know. But anyway, Ruben's going to join us on this, and you know, if you want to get up and dance, don't. No, you can if you want. Here we go.
Johnny played this in 1960 with Tito Rodriguez.
Yeah, Johnny recorded this. How many? Well, doesn't make a difference. 1970 at Mayfair in New York, on an album called "Estoy como nunca," Tito Rodriguez. Those of you that have that record, sell it. Here we go. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Estoy enamorado de la negra Tomasa, que cuando se va de casa, qué triste me pongo. Estoy tan enamorado de esa negra Tomasa, que cuando se va de casa, qué triste me pongo. Y esa negra linda cámara que me dio bilongo, y esa negra santa cámara que me dio mondongo. Lo más que me gusta es la comida que me cocina, lo más que me gusta es la café que ella me cuela. Lo más que me gusta es la comida que me cocina, lo más que me gusta es la café que ella me cuela. Y esa negra linda cámara que me dio bilongo, y esa negra santa cámara que me dio mondongo.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Esa negrita, esa es la que voy a coger.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Oye Tomasa, mira, te estoy esperando, dame que la mandinga pa' ver.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Pero que a eso, que de las 3 me sirve una taza de café, verás.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Ven y dame un poquito más, que yo quiero comer. Oye, mandinga.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Ay, ¿qué le pasa a esa mulata? Que yo tengo preparado, mira la mandinga.
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Y es para ti, mandinga, mandinga. Ay,
¿Qué queremos?
¿Cómo?
¿Qué queremos mandinga?
Damas y caballeros, en el 3, el tremendísimo Nelson González. Pero que estoy tan enamorado de esa negra Tomasa, que cuando se va de casa yo me pongo a llorar. Y dímelo,
Mandinga,
ay, ¿quién será la que me quiere a mí? ¿Quién será? ¿Quién será?
Kikiribu, Mandinga, Kikiribu, Mandinga.
Pero que atízame el fogón que yo tengo preparada, mira la mandinga.
Kikiribu, Mandinga, Kikiribu, Mandinga.
Kikiribú mandinga. Muchas gracias.
By the way, Nelson Gonzalez was right there with Típica 73, and that collaboration between John Dandy Rodriguez and the rest of Típica 73 with Mr. Nelson Gonzalez led to Nelson innovating his instrument, and he's probably going to talk about that. And that's a testimony to the, I guess, vision that Johnny Dandy Rodriguez and Típica 73 had. So we're going to let them talk more about that. The discography of Johnny Dandy Rodriguez obviously includes that beautiful rendition by Lou Rosa and Victor Manolo Mairena and the whole band on Ay Cariño. How about a big hand, ladies and gentlemen? That's on the, I believe, the first album that John Dandy Rodriguez recorded with Tito Puente. And speaking of discography, an anecdote that Tito Puente Jr. discussed, there's an album called TP on the Bridge. And there's, listen, the novelty of the distinction of that recording is that Machito is singing on that recording, Congo Mulense, and John Dandy is in the bongo. But as far as the cover is concerned, TP Jr., TP says that he was in, Margie was carrying TP in that picture. All right? Yes. Audrey was the one that was being, so that picture, according to TP, is very important. If you have it, look at it differently now on, because the family, the Puente family was growing.
You're still getting paid for that cover, I think.
Go ahead.
Not so much Fox 5, but yeah. Go ahead, what are we doing? We're going to invite Mr. Estilo. His steel is known all over the country, ladies and gentlemen. And where is he? Is he here? We're going to invite, where is he? Where is he? Oh, we're going to invite Frankie Figueroa to come up here and sing. Frankie has gray hair because of all the Brillo pads he stole 200 years ago in California. Ready, Frankie? Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Oh, shit.
84 years.
Frankie's 84 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
23 with my team, Tito Puente. When I was with Tito Puente, Tito told me he's the only one who could wear white hair. Okay?
Which turned blue afterwards, I think. Anyway, all right. All right, we hope you enjoy this.
Wait, excuse me, Mr. Madera.
Yes, Frankie.
What's going on?
Ready? Rock and roll.
¿Cuál? Y rocking the kid up all day long, para sing it.
Okay.
Pero qué es eso?
That's it. We're on intermission now. Here we go. One. Hey, watch it. 1, 2, 3. Babarabatiriconcua, babarabatiricoimbre, babarabatiriconcua, babarabatiricoimbre, 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 babarabatiriconcua, babarabatiri, es pa' ti, babarabatiri, es pa' mí, babarabatiri, es pa' mí, babarabatiri, es pa' mí, babarabatiri, 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 ajá. ¡Guau!
Vaya.
Go, go, go!
¡Bum!
Go, go, go!
¡Bum!
Babarabatiri,
Oye,
babarabatiri,
como dice,
babarabatiri,
ah,
babarabatiri, babarabatiri,
llegó el tonero que usted esperaba.
babarabatiri,
Yo me como el candado y
babarabatiri,
escupo la aldaba. Y el estilo me llama por Panamá, que yo te canto la salsa que te va a gustar, que te va a embalar. Ah.
babarabatiri,
Coño, yo no me puedo acordar cuando Tito Puente decía, oye, ¿cómo va? Bueno, va a bailar.
babarabatiri,
Mulata buena, mira cómo vengo este año. Tiri, 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 tiri. Miren, va buena. Vamos a bailar, vamos a gozar. Ahora, mamá, madera, tócame el timbal. Que yo se te pongo a gozar. Como dijo Nilo Tierra, yo te busco a ti. Belén va buena, va, ariñañara. Pocoy, pocoy. ¡Guau! Tum, 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 tum.
go, go, go! Go, go, go!
¡Pipila! ¡Está! Ready, boy! Oye, como dice, tinito, tinito, toca la malaca, tinito, 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 tócala, tócala, caballero. Yo soy el tonero que usted no esperaba. Yo me como el candado y escupo la aldaba. Como me dice yo madera, ariñaña de la oye, mi cambio todo. Mira cómo vengo. A la la la. A la la la. Batiri, batiri. Pa, pum, 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 tum, 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 tum. Dátelo, madera. Pracum. I will be also pretty.
Yesterday.
I want to be around. Thank you. Thank you. Long live Mr.
Frankie
Johnny
Figueroa.
Rodriguez.
Frankie Figueroa, ladies and gentlemen.
When I met Johnny, I was start singing with Willie Rosario. I was 19 years old.
And then you went to jail.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I met Johnny, I thought he was Cuban because he was playing with a Cuban band called
La Oriental.
Oriental Cubana, yes. All of those musicians was Cuban, and I thought he was Cuban. When I
Frankie,
met his father-
we're glad that you're here because part of Johnny's history, legacy, involves at least 23 years of working together with Mr. Frankie Figueroa and the Tito Puente Orchestra.
It's going to be about 15 or 20 minutes.
And we are going to, Elliot, request.
We're going to give the band a little break at the moment and have a couple of people who want to share some memories and stories about Johnny. And I know Nando has more, but the first person will be Narida Morales, who is a cousin of Johnny. So give her a hand.
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. This is quite an amazing event, and I think he would be very proud. He would be very, very proud. My name is Iris Nereida Guzman Morales, and as most Puerto Ricans, we all have a lot of names. Most of you know me as Nereida, and if you know me through Facebook, you know me as Iris. I'm Dandy's cousin, and I'm here representing our family. This is very difficult for me because I said I wasn't going to cry. I did a little research on Wikipedia, and the basics was, pretty much he was born September 11th, 1945, and passed August 16th, 2024. He was the son of Johnny La Vaca Rodriguez, as most of you know, and Marie Rodriguez, as we know her as Tati. One of the best dancers I've ever seen in my life. He grew up in el barrio playing stickball. And at the age of 14, he became interested in percussion, and by the age of 16, he was playing with Tito Puente. And this was something that Dolores and I talked about. You know, I was only 11 years old when he was married to her, so I kind of don't have that history with him. But I'm here representing Dolores Rodriguez, David Rodriguez, his son, Adrian Rodriguez, his daughter, Jeannie, his sister, Eric, nephew, and his grandchildren, Mia and Donovan. And I also am representing most of his cousins, because I made a lot of phone calls to ask them questions about what their relationship with him was. And the reason why I'm here is I want to reflect on Johnny's family life, because I don't know if many of you have heard before, but I didn't know he was that famous. I just thought he was my cousin that played with this group called Típica 73. It wasn't until I remember going to Long Beach in California, and somebody said, "Mira, esta es la prima de Dandy," you know, and I was like, oh, they know him, you know? And all of a sudden I got free entry, you know, and people were coming up to me, talking to me, and I'm thinking to myself, pretty good, you know, it wasn't too bad, you know? But I didn't realize the impact that he had in this community until I came here. As I was chatting with Dolores, she shared with me the first time she met Dandy. It was sometime in 1965 at a club called La Campina in the Bronx. And the friend of her, I believe her name was Edith Rodriguez, introduced them after Dolores told her, "That man is going to be my husband." From that point on, they were inseparable. They married December 15th, 1967. And again, no, I wasn't at the wedding. I was only 11 years old. David was born on June 10th, 1968, and Adrian September 9th in 1976. The last time I had saw Dandy, David was sitting with him in the hospital. He was doing really well at the time. And I remember walking in and he said, "Wow, wow, wow." And I looked at him like, wow, okay. And David jumped up out of his seat and said, "Dad, you're talking." We all started to laugh, and I had no idea at the time that that was his first words since the stroke. And his smile was so contagious. All we could do was just smile back at him because we couldn't do anything else. And that's the last time I saw him. That was my last view of my cousin. And I couldn't wait to get back to New York to tell everybody, he's doing wonderful. I called everybody that called me and made sure to let them know that he's doing well and he should be back. Obviously, that didn't happen. Adrian had a conversation with me, and I had asked her about Donovan and Mia, which is his grandchildren. And she told me how at 7 o'clock every morning, he would call Donovan to get his day started. He made sure that Donovan knew that Grandpa was there. That's the part a lot of us don't know about him. He would, when he was in Las Vegas, he would always make sure he picked him up after school. He always made lunch dates with him just so he could hang out with him. And with Mia, we were talking about that part of him where he used to read to her. Now, I can't imagine Dandy reading, but he did, and he also would encourage her to sing, so he would sing with her. And these are memories that were shared with me that I thought, you know, maybe everybody else needs to know a little bit more about Dandy besides the music. I've been asked many times how we were related. And one time we looked at each other and we said, we don't know. We just know that we're cousins. And finally, we sat down together, his sister and I, Jeannie, and we started putting two and two together, and we figured out his grandmother, Provencia Rodriguez, and my grandfather, Mercedes Rodriguez, were siblings. And I started saying, but wait a minute, we used to call her Titi Provi. And they said, and my grandfather was Papacedo. And then finally we started going, oh my God, they were siblings. This is how we're cousins. It's amazing because I also found out that we have a very, very, very large family. My mother alone has 42 siblings. So imagine what that looked like. The men were good looking, I have to say. Dandy is the perfect example for that. I did ask Dolores, why did they leave New York? And a lot of it had to do with during the time that Tito Puente had passed away. It affected him really, really bad. And at that time, Dolores lost her parents, and his father had passed away. And Tati and Jeannie were in Las Vegas. That's where the family was. I was living there as well. And they just decided, let's pack up. And they spent the last years of Tati's life in Las Vegas. And, that's one of the reasons why that they had gone there. After my husband passed away, he talked to me a little bit. And he kept on telling me, you need to get out of Las Vegas. Matter of fact, he said, you need to get the hell out of Las Vegas. I thought, okay. And so I did. It was one thing that I wanted to do, and I love to dance, and that comes part of my family. And, he told me, if you really want to hear some really good music, you need to get out. And that's what at that point, I knew that that was my opening. I knew that I had family members here. He began to introduce me proudly as his cousin, and I was kind of taken back by it. But one of the things he would always say, especially to the men, is, doesn't she look like me? So with all that said, as a musician, you all know him, you know his history, but I wanted you to know more about who he was when he came home. He was a beautiful man. He was very protective with his personal life, and that I know for a fact. His family meant the world to him. I know also that he had no malice in his heart. I asked a couple of people to tell me something about him that they could remember, and one of his friends had told me that he was so humble, he didn't know he was a legend. And she had to remind him, when there was no place to sit, that he needed to let them know who he was. And they got a seat very quickly. Someone else told me he was always a gentleman. And one of my cousins said, I remember going to Tia Provi's home, and he was there. We were all introduced, and I had no idea of his music career, yet he hugged us like he knew us all our lives and began to tell us memories of us when we were little. And I remember him doing that with me. It was like, I remember that when you did this, and I was like, really? Because I don't remember. One thing that everyone did mention about my cousin was he loved to eat, he loved to drink, and he loved going out. This is who my cousin was to us. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, so now, Nelson Gonzalez. Nelson's here? Nelson? All right, while we're looking for Nelson. Oh. I'm sorry, Papa. Don't look at me like that. Okay.
I didn't know I was supposed to talk. It's a prize. I met Johnny in 1969. I was playing with a little group, and at that time, nobody was playing tres. And Johnny was a huge fan of Arsenio Rodriguez and Cuban music, the rumba and all that. And I got hired by Justo Betancourt, that just came out of Sonora Matancera. And I started playing with Justo. And Johnny came over, and he said, why are you playing with an old-fashioned band, which was a style of Sonora Matancera? And then I told him, well, it's not really old-fashioned. It's just that it's the only gig I could get. So Larry Harlow have just recorded an album, a tribute to Arsenio Rodriguez, and they used Joe Motoro. But the people that are here should know, Joe Motoro never played tres. He played Puerto Rican cuatro, and it's two different instruments. God, you know. There's a lot of people that ask me, what kind of guitar are you playing? I go, oh, wow. It's not a guitar. But anyhow, Johnny was always reminding me, always used to go, hey, Nelson. I said, one day, Ismael Miranda asked me, Nelson, don't leave Harlow because I'm going to start a band. It's going to be called Orquesta Revelación, and I want you to be there. I said, okay. I was with Ismael Miranda maybe for about a year or 2 years. And then in this radio station, I heard Ismael Miranda talking. In an interview, he was saying, real soon, I'm going to break this band, and I'm going to go as a soloist. I'm going to start my soloist career. And then while he was saying that, I started looking for Johnny's number. Hello, Johnny. Say, hey, Nelson, what's up, man? No, he never said that. He always said, que volá, Sere, consorte. ¿Cómo está, consorte? Me decía, bueno, yo creo que, how long Típica has been out in the street? He said, Típica is not out yet. We're doing Tuesdays in Aunt Beanie's. We get together, a part of Ray Barreto's band. And if you want, you come down. It's been like 4 months that we've been playing this place. And I think Ray is going to fire everybody. And I said, okay, so Ray's going to fire everybody. The reason why I'm calling you Johnny, because Ismael Miranda is going to fire me too. It's going to go as a soloist, and you've been telling me, Nelson, don't worry, it's going to come out, it's going to come out. Most of the time, I never sit in with the bands. I used to go to different places where they were playing, and I would just look at the musicians and admire their talent, but never sat in. But I know other tres players that used to sit in with Johnny's band. At that time, it was not called Típica 73s. It was called Tuesdays at Aunt Vinnie's, which is the place where Johnny used to play. Well, having said that, you know, the whole idea of Típica 73 was Johnny Rodriguez. He's the one that started everything there. So he called me, he said, listen, Nelson, if you want to join the band, it's kind of late because we already recorded an album that's called Típica 73. I said, yeah, thanks, man. So I joined the band like 4 months after Típica 73 was already out. They had already recorded, and I asked Johnny, is there a way I could overdub the tres in the band? He said, no way, Nelson, no way. But anyhow, I joined the band, and I was there for 8 years, playing next to me, 8 years. And I always told him that he was like an innovator. Johnny created not only Típica 73, lately he had a band called the Dream Team. And I said, Johnny, where you get all those names from, man? The Dream Team. And he said, take a look at the band. Georgie, Ruben, Rodriguez. This is an all-star band, Nelson. I said, oh, so that's your Dream Team. He said, yes, it is. So I will always be grateful to Johnny. And the reason why I had this little scarf, because I don't want to go, oh, Johnny, you know, I don't want to do that. But I get very emotional when I talk about him, because he was also a mentor to me. I learned how to play bongos because Johnny and Oreste Bilato taught me how to play bongos. And The day he passed, I have called him in the morning. No, the day he got the stroke, I called him in the morning. We were supposed to go to Colombia and celebrate the 50 years of Típica 73. And then I said, Johnny, I'm not going because I'm tired and what they want to pay us is like ridiculous. So don't count on me. He said, Nelson, I'm going to get what you want. Don't worry about it. And he called the promoter and he said, listen, why you talk to Johnny Rodriguez? And I said, because it was his idea for me to be in this band in the first place. And I said, okay, we call you back. Johnny said, Nelson, I'm going to call you back in the afternoon. He never called me back. He died before that. He got the stroke. The next day when I learned that he passed, and he touched a lot of people that are here today. There's a lot of musicians here that I'd like to acknowledge. Ruben Rodriguez. We have also Ruben Santiago here, which is a producer and a Broadway actor and a Broadway producer. And he met Johnny because me and Johnny play in a show called The Happiest Songs Played Last. And Ruben was the producer and Ruben was the director for that on Broadway or off Broadway. And he got to meet Johnny. And he's here tonight. Ruben, thank you. Also like to acknowledge Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky actually was one of Johnny's favorite piano players. Yeah, Ricky, go home now. He always made sure that on the Dream Team, Ricky Gonzalez was Johnny's favorite piano player. So thank you for being here and honor this great man that touches. And thank you. I can't say no more because I get emotional. Gracias, Nelson. Nelson, I know you probably didn't forget, but to highlight the vision, the avant-garde side of Johnny, and obviously, he was daring in the music. You innovated the instrument with Típica 73. I'm pretty sure you guys talked about that, and Johnny probably gave you the green light to do something on a traditional instrument. You revolutionized that. Can you talk about that? A little note about that. When Típica was always innovated and doing a lot of, we used to sing in English. We did the Mike Douglas show. We did Cavett. We did Saturday Night Live. We did all the American shows in English music, not Spanish music. English music. The only tune that we used to do in those shows was Amalia Batista, in which I used to go, yes, sir, that's my baby, you know the routine, right? So I asked Johnny, can I change the sound of the tres? And he said, let me ask around, Nelson. And I remember, who you going to call? He said, I'm going to call my old boss. I said, who's your old boss? Tito Puente. And I was in a recording once. This is another story. I got so many with Johnny, and I couldn't read music. I could read the chords, but for me to blend in the tres with the music, they were supposed to make me part of the chord, of the whole structure of the chord, not make me read the piano part. So it was a different thing for me. I have to describe the chord and then find out. I only had 3 strings, so I have to figure it out by myself. And he said, did you ask Puente about it? He said, he loved it. And then he said, and what else did he say? He said, Tito said, the Cubans are going to kill you. Tito said, be careful because you're going to play the tres as Jimi Hendrix now. You're bringing a wah-wah pedal. You're bringing up electricity, bringing up a lot of electric things in there. with the instruments. But Johnny was an innovator. He loved it, and I'm happy and I'm glad that he let me play my tres with a wah-wah pedal. He made me, he made me sing in the band. The band was a great band. I always used to remember that Tito Puente used to tell Johnny, I see you on the rebound. I never knew what that meant. But when they went to Cuba, that was the end of the band. The trip and the career of all those musicians that played with Típica 73. The band got blacklisted. Nobody wanted to hire the musicians that play with Típica 73. But thanks God for Tito Puente says, come, Sonny Bravo. Come, Johnny. And they joined Tito Puente's band again. He was the only one that gave them work, Tito. Another story. Thank you. Tito Puente was playing with at the Corso one time, and Los Papines were in town. And I was with Los Papines, and I always carry my tres. So I went up to Tito, and I said, can I play a little bit? He said, pick the tune and just come in and play, Nelson. I said, okay. So I sat in while I'm playing and talking to Tito, telling him, Los Papines are here from Cuba. Tito, Los Papines are here from Cuba. They're downstairs. And he says, and they don't let him in. They were not allowed to come up to the Corso. Tito stopped the band and told Johnny Rodriguez, go get your boys. Just like that. Johnny, go get your boys. And all four Papines came up at the Corso, and they played with Tito's band. And that's on tape. That's on tape. Los Papines with Tito Puente's band. That was at the Corso. And there were so many great things that Johnny did. Johnny always gave people the opportunity to prove themselves, like Jose Calderon. Right? Jose Calderon and all the other, Orestes is here, and Johnny always gave the opportunity to everybody that needed to come and play. And always, when there was a good conga player, he would stand up and pick up the wheel and take the back seat. He knew when to take the back seat, and he knew when to drive. And he was an excellent. I haven't heard a good tapao, como decimos nosotros, en una conga como el de Johnny Rodriguez. Ni he escuchado un bongo en la orquesta de Tito Puente como el de Johnny Rodriguez. Y eso es la historia, eso se va a quedar para siempre. Okay. Muchas gracias y perdonen todo lo que he hablado aquí. No está. Felicitaciones, mi hermano. Gracias, felicitaciones. Ladies and gentlemen, as we could hear, John Dandy Rodriguez is tied to the development of this music in so many different ways. And we have him so close to us that we probably don't realize that ourselves. And I'm glad that Nelson Gonzalez got to tell the story. And regarding Cuba and the trip, you know that Johnny is responsible basically for opening the doors to Fania All-Stars and to the Típica 73. And obviously it all originated with a trip that none of the bands went. It was just LP taking some instruments to Cuba, and Dandy, I don't know how instrumental he was in happening that, but we will ask Mr. Martin Cohen of LP Percussion, formerly of LP Percussion, conga head now, to come up and share some of that experience. Thank you.
Well, first, let me get a picture. I met Dandy at the Palladium in 1962. I was infatuated with Latin music. And I wanted to be a part of the industry, and I had this vision of building bongos. And through that meeting, I met his father, I met his mother, and we developed a relationship. But I have to draw a line between that moment in 1962 at the Palladium to the present time, when a conga is matter of fact on the stage in Shanghai and Nashville, but it's all because of that meeting with Dandy. He was the person that gave me the inspiration, that enabled me to go forward and build a product line. And he was so much a part of the building of that, of the help, the inspiration for all the products I did. And then making recordings that we did in my house in Hillsdale, New Jersey. So so much has been said wonderful about Dandy. I can't say any more except to say I owe all and every percussionist in the world owes a debt to Dandy for what he did. And thank you very much.
We're going to ask the musicians to get back in here. And if I'm going to take the liberty of perhaps expanding a little bit of what I've read, and he's here to corroborate or to basically correct me. I understand that the first endorser of LP Percussion was Willie Bobo. And I understand that that came about because of Dandy's parents. They were very close and so forth. So like Mr. Cohen said, the rest is history. That trip to 1978, you guys took some congas there that were donated to Pello Lafrocan, the founder, the creator of El Mozambique. And Dandy, I started to talk about that at the beginning. Dandy went there not expecting to play, but then he was asked to get on stage, and they had to scramble to get a pair of bongo, but they wanted him on stage, and he represented New York. He represented this side, the music here. And with guys like Tata Wieners, Guillermo Barreto, Mercedita Valdez, Cachaito. And Johnny, wherever he went, he definitely carried that with him, and he just fulfilled that particular part of his personality to the maximum. He always showed the rest of the world. When Tito Puente changed from the big band to the Latin Jazz Ensemble in 1980, Johnny was there to complement that. And Johnny could just mold himself, fit into any type of format. Look what he did with Típica 73. Very talented, and once again, because we had him so close, we probably don't realize what a tremendous musician, human being he is. So the musicians are ready to join us? Let's go. All right. Once again, the Mambo Legends under the direction of Jose Madera. By anyone else that wants to say anything regarding Mr. Dandy Rodriguez, por favor. I'm going to take the time to also acknowledge some great musicians that are here. Jose Clausel just got in here. ¿Dónde está Jose Clausel? All right. Mr. Juan Rodriguez, formerly of Wayne Gorbea, Salsa Picante. Jose Calderon is here, right? Manny Rivera from Son del Monte. All right. There's a young man, 20 years old, lives in Boston, goes to the University of Hartford. He made the trip to come here, 20 years old, because he heard of this and he wanted to be here, be part of it. Elliot? Yes, of course. Dave Santiago Jr., big part on the flute. Where is he? Karen Joseph. The great Henry Fiol, that Dandy participated on the recordings. Henry Fiol is here. Richie Bonilla is here. Arturo Ortiz, a great pianist. Renato, where are you? the Greek brother, Dimitris Kastaris, trombonist. This is a testimony when all the colleagues come and pay their respects. And we're happy for that. We're celebrating a great legacy. And we are going to continue with the music that Johnny was such a part of. You know that Johnny had the distinction, this is my own feeling about this. When he decided to taste or go over there and try out Tito Rodriguez, he got the blessing of Tito Puente and Jimmy Frisaura. He went to Machito, came back to Tito Rodriguez, came back to Tito Puente. That tells you how much he was valued, how much he was considered. And he's one of the few musicians that we have today, very few, that can say, I performed with the three big ones, I recorded with the three big ones. I don't know, Bobby Porcelli, who's left from that era, Mitch, that played with the three big ones? Bobby Porcelli.
He's getting better. He had a few health things going on, but he's doing better. And he unfortunately can't be here tonight, but he's alive and well.
Yeah. So, Dandy was one, and the fact that Dandy was able to adjust, to try new things, he was always faithful to the traditional stuff, to the big band sound of the 50s. But then he was also daring enough to try new things, and we are the better for it. So we thank Dandy Rodriguez for all his musical adventures, so to speak. So, vámonos con los muchachos nuevamente. Frank? Noel? Frank? Come on.
All right.
Bass player.
That's when Johnny first started in the business, just like Jose's dad, whose father had played with Machito and was the original arranger with Machito, and they came from a royal family. Johnny's dad, Johnny LaBaca Sr., was also in all the bands and a featured player. But Johnny's mother was a top social dancer, and she went by the nickname of Tati. So any of you go on YouTube and Google, put in Tito dances with Tati, T-A-T-I, and you're going to see some amazing social dancing, and you'll see Tito dancing like you've never saw before. And okay, Frank, and so we're going to do a classic arrangement called the Blem Blem Medley that Jose Madera did, and then we're going to invite one of the world's greatest Afro-Caribbean. I don't want to just say salsa mambo dancers because he's more than that. So one of the great Afro-Caribbean dancers in honor of Johnny and his mother, who he was very close with. We're going to bring up Frank Noel. Beautiful.
I had the privilege of being able to sit on the floor at the Corso while the dances were going on and see Johnny's mother, Tati, dancing. You know, there's a saying that goes, poetry in motion. That was Tati when she was dancing. She was a very robust woman, but she had the grace of Ginger Rogers.
We just want to give one more thank you to friends of Johnny's. Give me again, Kathy. Marcos and Justine, where are you? Stand up. They came from Panama for this. Good friends of Johnny's. All the way from Panama. That's how far it goes.
Yes. And this is not the first time. They have always been supportive of Johnny. I saw them at so many performances, making the trip, especially to see anything that Johnny was doing on stage. So thank you, Marcos. All right? Gracias. Oh, yeah. You know, one of the groups that Dandy had was the Palladium All-Stars. Now you're going to play Palladium Memories?
No, we're going to recreate some.
Oh, great. Let's go for it. Palladium Memories right now.
Yeah, but everybody's dead from the Palladium. 1, 2, 3.
Bling, 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 bling. mío, blen, 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 porque de mío vale, oh mío, blen, blen, blen. Carillaré, carillaré, bombo, carillaré, 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 oh buen, bombo, carillaré, carillaré, ajá. Y a mí, bocuere, y a mí, bocuere, y a mí, ¡ahue! Pero que mira, bueno, yare, bombo, guini, yare, yare, como es. Pero cuando bailan suena el tambor, tú ves, la negra sale a bailar la rumba que también baila bembé. Pero que hilo como yo hacer eco ahí nada más tú ves. Yare, 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 yare. Oye, que baila está sabroso pa' que vea cómo es. Pero bailalo al derecho y bailalo al revés. Yare, yare. Bombo Queenie, yare, yare, yare. Bombo Queenie, yare, yare, yare. Que. Y di que, y dilo como yo hacer eco ahí nada más. Dilo pa' que vea qué rico que va. Oye, tú ves. Yare, 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 yare. Bombo Queenie.
Bombo Queenie, yare.
Ajá. Y no hay nada, y no hay nada. Y nada más ve. Y na tutu. Y na pampa. Y na conga. Y na gaina. Oye, y na bongo. Como yo y na. Y no hay nada, tú verás. Y no hay nada que es. Óyeme, Arturo, tú ves. Yo te lo decía, compadre. Y no hay nada. Qué bueno es. Y no hay nada, tú ves. Y no hay nada con ajé. Yo lo que traigo son dos de azúcar y para 3 de café.
Y no hay nada.
Baila como quiera y ahora.
Y no hay nada.
Y na coína, mamá.
Y no hay nada.
Oye, y no hay nada.
Y no hay nada.
Y no hay nada. Y na conga.
Y no hay nada.
Y na tutu.
Y no hay nada.
Y na pampa.
Y no hay nada.
Agua.
Y no hay nada.
Oye, qué rico es. Sin timbal. Oye, la rumba no puedo gozar, pero que mira sin timbal, sin timbal. Oye, la rumba no puedo gozar, tú ves.
Sin timbal no se puede bailar. Sin timbal la rumba no está.
Pero que sin timbal no se puede gozar. Porque ahí falta la campana, falta la conga. Oye, falta también el timbal, mamá.
Sin timbal no se puede bailar. Sin timbal la rumba no está.
Por eso mira, le estamos cantando a Dandy, que en el cielo está gozando de verdad. y tocando mira sabroso, José Madera su timbal, su timbal.
Sin timbar no se puede bailar. Sin timbar la rumba no está.
Y que te lo dijo, oye Kaki, pero que escucha ya lo que traigo para ti. Es una banda que dice así, hoy una banda que dice así, mamá. Y sin timbal no hay nada. Por eso le digo yo, señores, que sin timbal no puedo gozar. Como los
You know, people have asked very often what was the greatest album that Tito Puente ever did. Most of you would probably say Dance Mania. And, but he did one in 1955 called Cuban Carnival. That Johnny's dad is on, and my dad is on that also, back in 1955. So we're gonna do a little thing from that album called China. Watch it, come on.
será. China, prieta, no baila cha cha cha. China, prieta, mulata que será. China, prieta, ven bailar cha cha cha.
mulata que será. China, prieta, ven baila cha-cha-cha. ¿Qué será? China, prieta, ven baila cha-cha-cha. ¿Qué será? China, prieta, ven baila cha-cha-cha.
Thank you.
We're gonna now, I raised my kids on this next song. And if you want to see the Tito Puente Oye Como Va Santana speech, just Google it on YouTube. I have it memorized, but I don't think now is the appropriate time. But this is a song that we used to play, we had to play at every concert, Oye Como Va. We're gonna many of the guys weren't, obviously, most of the guys weren't in the Tito Puente Orchestra, so we're going to kind of give them the parts. And we're so happy that the family is here. So we'd like to invite the oldest son, Ronnie, and his baby brother, Tito Jr., if you would like to join us on Oye Como Va. And also, one of our original trumpet players, Mr. John Walsh, is going to be sitting in on this one, too. And then we're going to invite some other people up for the next song. You guys remember how this goes, right? This paid for your groceries. Okay. So listen. I'll give you lines. John, where's John? Yeah, give him the lines. 54 what, Dave? 54 days. Joe, make sure he plays with the A on top, Silvano. Give him a tempo, give him a
Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata. Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata. Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata. Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata.
Eddie Zervigo, my favorite flute player. Where's your flute? Come on. Miss Karen Joseph.
más fuerte aplauso. Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata. I felt it. Did you feel it?
I think they felt better at St. Anthony's. St. Peter's, did you feel it? One, two, three, four.
Hoi! Here we go! Here we go! Epa! Hoi! 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 ¡Que viva Dandy Rodríguez!
One more. By the way, we have every right to identify John Dandy Rodriguez with this great sound over, I would say, approximately 60 years with the maestro Tito Puente, and then Tito Rodriguez and Machito, all big bands, Típica 73. But there's another side of John Dandy that I must mention. The records of Joe Cuba that we heard in the early 60s, in the late 60s, have John Dandy Rodriguez for the most. He's the one playing bongo. A few of them is Manny Oquendo. And the taste, the sound that we find on those records, I think at that era made you want to go out and catch them live. But when it was live, there was no bongo. It was just in the recording, and that was Dandy Rodriguez. Speaking of his versatility and how to adjust and fit into any kind of format. And he did it quietly. In those days, there were no credits on the albums. But any record of Joe Cuba that you hear, the bongo, and you hear such a tasty music, it's probably Dandy Rodriguez there. Very few were Manny Oquendo. So I just wanted to point that out. The legacy of the great Dandy Rodriguez, which is what we're celebrating. And I know he's up there saying, wow, these people really did like me and believed in me. He didn't know how big he was, according to Neneta. So let's continue from Mitch. One more. La ñapa.
Start on the piano. Start on the piano.
de mi rumba sabrosa. Y ahora que estamos en salsa, que yo te invito, mira, que hoy a escucharla. Abaniquito, mira, de adiar. Un saludo a ustedes le quiero brindar. Honor a quien honor merece. Dandy, mira Rodríguez. Tremenda persona, mira que abanico de adiar. A ver. Abanico, mira que hoy es de adiar. Cuando viene, mira Nelson a tocar.
¿Cómo?
Abaniquito de Uriel,
Zúmbalo, bailalo.
abaniquito de Uriel,
A ustedes hoy le voy a brindar un saludo, oye, y acordear. Abaniquito, mira de adiar. Ahora Nelson González se lo va a explicar.
abaniquito de Uriel.
Ali Bello, take it away.
No, Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, Ali Bello.
Ali Bello en el violín. Ay, Ali. Nelson González.
timbal, el 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 timbal, ajá.
Eso, Ronnie Puente y timbal. Ajá. ¡Que viva Dandy Rodríguez! ¡Danny! ¡Te quiero!
El timbal, 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 el timbal.
Buena. José Cancel.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You will be charged as you leave.
The Mambo Legends. Yes. As you can see, all these great musicians are here recognizing the great John Dandy Rodriguez. Thank you, Elliot.
Everybody hold on for a second. Everybody hold on for a second. Everybody, hold on. Shh, 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 shh. Everybody, hold on. Come on now. Shh, shh. All right. The first thing is exit to your left, up the stairs. We have a little space for a little meet and greet with the musicians and your friends, and you take pictures and everything. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank Nando Alvarici. Give Nando a hand.
I think you should all give yourselves a hand, paying respect, tribute to Mr. John Dandy Rodriguez. Thank you. How about a big hand for Elliot? Elliot!
Dave, thank you, brother. Pete, thank you.
Yo, who got a good phone? Who got a good phone for a picture?
I have a good phone if you want.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna take a couple of pictures, but then we'll get just a band picture, okay?
Got this microphone right smack in my.
Oh, they're going to take this up front. Now they're going to take this.
Oh, yes, yes, we go. Joe, we need to get a band picture. So we need a band picture for. So after this, we already got the picture. Okay, 1 second. Listen, guys, yo, you call me, homie. Just a band picture. If we could just get the guys in the band and everybody else get off the stage. Guys, just come down a little more. Why is it so fucking difficult? Just take a few minutes and wait till the other people get off the bandstand and we'll get a picture.
I'll tell you what, this is inspiring right now.
Absolutely. I like that suit. It's a good suit.
Thanks.
Joe, get this whole motherfucker off the stage.